Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how you can create AI agents using your words and a platform called Lindy. So Lindy is basically similar to NHN, but instead of manually creating the workflow, you can just ask AI to do that for you. And in this video I'm creating a lead generation pipeline. So we retrieve leads and then we enrich those leads and then we come up with a customized message using AI and then we send those emails, and this process should be completely automated. So first things first, when you sign into Lindy, you are going to be navigated to this web page, and once you're here you need to provide it with your prompt. And I have already created some prompts for us, and this is my first prompt. So basically the first step in our workflow is the following: build an AI agent that generates leads for me. It will find the name, role, company size, and email addresses of people based on my request of industry and location. It will store the results in a Google Sheet. Okay? And I'm gonna send this to Lindy. And right now it's gonna navigate us to the AI agent, and we're just gonna click on the AI agent. Okay? So build agent, and now we are going to be navigated to the workflow page. And basically right now it's going to ask us some questions to properly set up the workflow for us. And the first question is the following: what source you want me to use to come up with the leads? And it's gonna use People Data Labs on default, and I believe that's a good platform for us, at least for the sake of testing the workflow. So People Data Labs. And the second question is, uh, do you have a specific Google Sheet where you want the leads to be stored? Yes, I do have one. I do have a Google Sheets. Okay. And the third question, input method: how would you like to provide the industry and location criteria for your conversation with the agent, or would you prefer a different trigger method? So I would say through a conversation. Okay. So now I'm going to send this message to Lindy, and right now it's going to come up with a plan and it's going to share the plan with us. And right now we're gonna either confirm the plan or just ask for some revisions. Based on my experience, if you wanna decline the plan, just start from scratch and give a new prompt, because if you ask it to deviate from what is a standard, it's gonna mess up everything and it's gonna be much harder for you. So if you find yourself in a situation where you have to keep asking AI to change things, just start from scratch at that point. But for now it makes sense to me, so I'm just gonna say yes. And now it's gonna start working on the workflow, and I don't think it's gonna ask me any other questions for now. And let me just show you the Google Sheets I have. The Google Sheet is called lead gen, and we have different columns, and one of them is name, one of them is company name, company size, and email. So I'm gonna delete pinpoint for now, but we have these columns, and we want to fill these columns with our information. So if I go back to Lindy, as you can see, it's going over multiple steps to basically take care of different aspects of this workflow. And it's not gonna take a long time. It's usually gonna be done around 1 minute or so, and we are done around now. So we have the workflow, and it's basically gonna give us some instructions, and more importantly it's gonna ask us for the Google spreadsheet ID and the exact sheets. And my recommendation is that you do not provide information about your Google Sheets in the message section. It's gonna be easier to just come to this portion basically sign in using your email address, click the spreadsheet you're interested in, sheet 1, and basically we have all this information, right? Name, role, company size, and email address. And to me it makes sense, so I'm just gonna test this workflow. And as you can see, it's using this platform right here to find the leads for us. So I'm just gonna say, uh, for example, we can say find marketing managers in tech companies in San Francisco. Or okay, so I'm just gonna say marketing managers in New York. Okay, and okay, so the message was received, and as you can see, we are retrieving our leads, and the leads are being added to our Google Sheets, and we should be good now. So I'm gonna go back to Google Sheets, and we have Erica Rallo, senior marketing, Amazon, a big company, and we also have their email address. So great. Now that we have this, the next step in our workflow is the following. Basically, I'm gonna copy this prompt, and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna paste it. And the prompt says, build an agent that takes leads from my Google Sheet and enriches them by finding their company's pain points. So that's my prompt, and I'm just gonna send the prompt. And you might ask yourself, why did we come up with a new workflow? Couldn't we just extend the previous one? And when you're using these AI tools, it's important to not make things complex. So instead of asking the AI to do all these at the same time, it's better to uh, turn the complex problem into a smaller parts that the AI can handle. So similar to the previous one, it's gonna ask us some question: which especially Google Sheet contains your leads? What columns contain the information? So Google Sheets is called lead gen, and all columns can be important, but the column company is the most important. Okay, all columns include, basically go back to Google Sheets, copy all these columns, go back to Lindy and paste it. Second question, pain point research. How would you like me to find the company pain points? I'm gonna say use AI. And the third question, output format. Where should the enriched data with data points be stored? The same Google Sheets. So I'm gonna say yes, same Google Sheets under a column named pain points, right? And I'm gonna go back to Google Sheets. I'm gonna create a column called pain points. And now that we have that, I'm just gonna ask it to come up with the workflow. Similar to the previous round, it's gonna ask us to confirm, and we are gonna confirm. And right now it should be working on our workflow, but it's not being displayed here because sometimes the platform is laggy. So wait a few seconds, and if you do not get any results, just say yes again. And I'm gonna say yes again. Now it works. So basically, the AI is gonna use basically the company name and maybe the other information we have here to do a research using AI regarding the pain points the company might have, and then the pain points are going to be stored here, and later in the workflow we are using the pain points as well as AI to create customized messages for our leads and then send those emails. Okay, and right now it's using Perplexity to do the research. It's okay, you could avoid using Perplexity as well, but if it came up with Perplexity, then that's what we use, right? And when you use the AI agent, each time it might come up with a different workflow. So it's also important to understand these workflows to realize which ones are the best for your use case, and do not accept whatever AI comes with as ground truth, because this ground truth changes each time, so it cannot be as grand truth. The final thing, and going back to our workflow, I just want to make sure our Google Sheets is the correct Google Sheets. So lead gen, and the update row should be lead gen, sheet 1. Lookup column is the company. Lookup value, AI is gonna come up with it, and name pain points. So the pain point is gonna be generated by AI. So we are good. Let's test this. Some failed to start the test. That's okay. Just click on this, and okay, we are facing a problem. Something went wrong. Please try again. Our team has been notified of this issue. You failed to start the test. Why? Okay, so whenever you face problems with Lindy, just ask their AI agents, and that's one of the problems with the platform. Although these tools are fantastic, but the problem is they're very variable. Some day you might work with them and they might be great. The other day you might do the same thing basically. You might ask the same questions, you might give the same instructions, and it's gonna give you some low quality workflow. So that's one of the problems with the platform, and you're just gonna deal with it if you wanna rely on the AI. But okay, let's see what was the message. The test might be failing because the Google Sheets trigger needs to be configured with the proper spreadsheet URL or ID. Let me check if there are any authentication issues. Once we have the correct spreadsheet configured, okay, it should be this spreadsheet ID. So I'm just gonna come back here. I'm just gonna copy it again. I'm just gonna paste it. Okay, update row, it's gonna be the lead gen, sheet 1, and test. Okay, I think this time we should be good. Okay, yes, it read the rows. Now it's using Perplexity to come up with the information, and hopefully it's gonna add this information to the Google Sheets. And as you saw, you sometimes you need to provide the AI tool with some instructions. You need to do some debugging, and it varies from time to time. Sometimes it works perfectly fine. Sometimes you need to play around with it. Regardless, for the simple workflows, I would recommend you to do your own thing instead of relying on AI, because it's gonna be much faster and much easier, I would say. Okay, it's doing the research right now, and it seems like it has stopped, and because we do not have pain points in our column name. That's my bad. So I'm gonna test it again. I'm gonna say new rows added. I'm gonna say select, and hopefully this time it's gonna work. Now it's updating the row, and given that we have a column called pain points, it makes sense to me that it should work. Yes, it works. So basically, when I deleted uh, my lead, it also deleted the pain points. So here is the pain point for our customer, and right now we are going to use this pain point to come up with an email which we can later send to our customers, our leads. So I'm just gonna go back to new agent, just gonna paste my third prompt here. It says build an agent that will write personalized outreach messages for our enriched leads from our Google Sheets database. It will craft a message and store it as a Gmail draft, but do not send it. So I'm just gonna send this prompt, and it's gonna work on the prompt. And as you saw previously, it's gonna ask us to go to the agent, and then we can provide the further instructions and actually set up the workflow. So I'm gonna wait for the next question to appear, or maybe sometimes we need to say let's build it if it does not show you the next message. So I'm just gonna wait and let's build it. Okay. Previous to the previous notes, we need to answer some questions. Do you have a specific Google Sheets spreadsheets with your enriched leads data? What columns contain the lead information like name, company, email, etc.? So I'm gonna say yes, I do. I do. Uh, and which columns include the desired information? So I'm just gonna go to this area. I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna delete this, and I'm just gonna paste this part. And for the second question, I'm gonna how would you like to trigger the outreach message creation? I would say automatically when new leads are added to the sheet. I'm just gonna go for the second option, automatically when new leads are added to the sheet. Fantastic. For the third question, I'm gonna say message personalization. What specific information from your leads data should be used to personalization? All available columns. Okay. Now we should be good to go. Okay, so our workflow is created, and now I can provide the spreadsheet ID. So if I come here, the spreadsheet ID is between 1 and edit. So I'm just gonna copy that section. I'm just gonna paste it here, and the sheet title, you can just leave that alone. And let's make sure that my Gmail account is connected, which is connected, and everything looks good. So let's test the workflow, and click on this first one, and then the workflow is gonna get triggered. As you can see, we retrieve the rows, we are personalizing the message, and we are sending that message through Gmail. So if I go to my Gmail account right now, as you can see, let me refresh this, and as you can see, we had the draft at 9:33 p.m. and right now it's 9:33 p.m. So this is the draft we are looking for, and this is the email address, this is the title. Hi Erica, I noticed Amazon's been navigating some complex operational challenges lately. As you can see, it's taking the current context into consideration. And this is the email. I would say the email looks decent. Actually, if you want to send an email using your campaigns, you want to have a shorter email, but that works too. You want to delete this part, but overall I believe this is a decent email, especially given that we didn't provide much instructions. So if you like this type of videos, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, and letting me know if you have any questions in the comment section. It helps me grow and provide more value to the AI community. Have a great day.